Yeah, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Everything Football. So, we're going to be discussing the results from Champions League game. I guess only Champions League game.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe the fixtures tomorrow.
man, I'm not David Stone, but
Okay, okay, okay. So you see, yeah,
maybe this year,
vintage
or
performances,
maybe
right?
the Liverpool game or like some
The
of the
Europa League,
Europa
yeah,
League games too.
yeah.
Yeah. So, how far with Arsenal now? 2-2 at Allianz Arena.
I
What's
think
up with
it's
that?
as good as it's as good a result as they could have gotten at Allianz Arena. To be honest, I mean there was your conversation about Bayern's form leading up to the game and how terrible they've been. But if there's something Tuchel is good at is cup games. Yes, he hasn't really shown that in Germany, but he did really well with Chelsea, and I feel like considering everything going on at Bayern right now, it might be an outside chance for them to actually make a statement. Maybe not win it, but like go far. But you look at Arsenal and you also see some growth, even though it's hugely exaggerated, right? You see from the performance of Saliba, Gabriel, Rice, that as much as they become really good, there's still a long way for them to go, and they still need to get more experience and improve. But then I think it was a good showing for them. They did well to come back because considering the circumstance, I think the game was played at the Emirates. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was at the Emirates, not at Allianz Arena, without any Bayern fan in the stadium. But I still think it was as good as a result as they could have gotten. I think that's just how I can put it.
Yeah. I'm going to give credit to Tuchel for getting his tactics right because they made it very difficult for Arsenal to play in between the
Yeah,
lines, to play those one-touch passes from Odegaard, and like that give and go
yeah.
was a little bit difficult for them. Like, and some of the players were man marked, but I think Bayern could have done better, and I hope they don't rule their missed chances
Yeah,
next week
I
because
think some things I see about Bayern is Musiala is a generational player. He should get more flowers. It was amazing in that game, and I think what is his name now? Their right back should drop that DM gimmick. What's his
Kimmich.
name? Kimmich, yes, he's a right back. He's not a defensive
I
midfielder.
said,
That was a masterclass of a performance at
I
his
mean,
best
you
position.
see,
So I don't know why he
yes,
goes around
yes,
wanting to play
because
DM.
as a team,
Yeah,
you know, Bayern played well.
yeah,
So defensively, it was always two on the flank against whichever Arsenal player,
right.
which really helped them out because once the player cut back, like
There's someone
the
else there. Yeah.
secondary press gets the ball or like deflects the pass. So like they got the counter quite easily. Then Jorginho's speed, you know,
Yeah,
he didn't read the game properly that much because he was exposed quite a number of times,
yeah.
which I expected Partey to come on earlier than the time he came on. But even when Partey came on, I guess the
I think
pressure
that's
just got to like
because
a lot
Rice
of the
himself
Arsenal
was a
players.
bit shaky. The sort of cover you would have expected Jorginho to
Eh,
get in the Premier League game wasn't there. And honestly, going into that game, I had more belief in them being a defensively resolute team than actually getting goals against Bayern. I thought it was going to be one of
no,
those defensive masterclass. But then
I knew
it
they were
was
going
shocking. It
to.
was that defensive call that really did drop the ball in
I
that
knew they
game.
were going to retain possession while
Yeah,
Tuchel sit back, like how he did against City.
yeah,
But like I didn't expect Arsenal players to be under so much. I mean, now thinking about it, it's understandable why
they
they
were
would
on
be
the
under
yeah
so much. But now that they've played it and like to me, I think good 2-2 was a good result
result.
considering
Yeah,
the circumstance. But a huge factor in Bayern's tactics was Kane.
yeah.
The Kane of Mourinho's era, dropping deep, which gave Sane and
Nabry
Nabry the space
to run in
to
behind.
run in behind.
Yeah.
That was a very good role. But I don't think in second leg it's going to work as well because hopefully Arsenal now know what they have to do and like
But
I hope
then
they
it's
can.
even a larger stage because they are going away
They are
to,
going
to
away,
Germany and
and there's no away rule, so
yeah,
you know that all you
exactly.
have to
And
do
they
is just
are
win.
and like I think the shock of European refereeing always gets to any new Premier League
And
team coming
definitely,
back to Europe, right? And I think that was a huge shock from us now. That not getting that penalty might be a mental um
But hold
problem
on,
they have to.
for you, was it a pen?
I think it was something. It is very nuanced, right? We know that
Yes or
we
no?
know that Saka sold it.
Yes or no? For
It
you, was
wasn't a
it a pen?
penalty.
For me, it wasn't a pen.
Exactly, but it could have been
If
given. It was given. The ref would have given it,
nah,
right?
if Neuer was closer to Saka,
Yeah,
he would have sold it.
yeah,
But for me, like I faulted Saka because that was a huge chance to win the
to
game.
score.
They could
Yeah,
have gone around in either way, but deciding to draw a pen, for that last kick of the game when they
yeah.
could have easily beaten him or play a
Small
pass,
margins, you know.
it's stuff like that
Yeah,
they learn from. Then the Bayern penalty claim,
that was
the keeper already
obviously
touching
yeah,
the ball and like
exactly.
the referee saying that's a
That is the most ridiculous excuse I've
schoolboy
heard
error that I can't give
in
that
my
kind of
life.
penalty. What do you think? We clamoring for like referees using their sense, like common sense.
Yeah,
Do you think that was like a situation of common sense, not
it was.
awarding?
I mean, because like the response to it in game wasn't as you would have expected. Probably if Bayern had fans in the stadium, but even the players were not really because nobody saw it, right? So you could say because everyone missed it.
Nobody saw it because
Yeah,
people are not conversant with the
the rules
rules
exactly. So in a that is just one
until it
of
was
the
pointed
is
out
one
at the
of the
end of the
blind
game.
sides of the
Yeah,
game that like we don't see happen often. But I'm happy it did. But
I'm happy he
honestly,
left. He
that
allowed
that
it go.
that is the most ridiculous excuse he could have given. I mean, there's a reason why it's a rule. Why do we give offside? Offside could also be a schoolboy. What was it called now?
Offside is not a schoolboy thing
So,
because
yo,
if if a lot of people don't know
a
about the
schoolboy
rule,
error. I mean,
you
yeah.
know, it's something else.
But we all know
But
you're not
for
supposed to
something
pick up
like
the
that,
ball after a
considering
bad
the
pass,
rule
right?
was just changed, you know, I think like a few years ago,
Like
like
2 or 3
players
seasons.
that were not
Yeah.
allowed to, play it out. That to be the goalkeeper,
Oh yeah.
or like like before you could not press
The
until
goalkeeper
like they play
a pass,
goalkeeper.
yeah.
But now like that, like so like there's
There are
constant,
modifications to it and stuff, yeah.
yeah. So like the return leg, what do you think? Who do you think is coming out on top?
I honestly don't
Just
know. I'm excited to see what comes out of that game. I think it's there for anyone to win it. Bayern definitely would have the home advantage, but they've not really looked any extra special at home this season. It's all about who can score more goals at this point in that game, and I think we are going to see another high-scoring fixture. At the end of the
yeah,
day, I think Bayern Munich are going to qualify.
yeah, I'm tipping towards Arsenal.
Nice.
I'm not really convinced about
Yes,
Bayern.
yeah.
I just if Arsenal can, because if Arsenal can just be level-headed and like I know it's difficult, but I would like to believe now that they've played the first leg, they know how
What to
big of a
expect?
deal it
Yeah,
is. So they should know how to manage their I don't want to say emotions because it's the emotions that lead to you being under immense pressure. They should
yeah.
know how it feels now. So they should act like they belong basically. If they can do that, I think it will not be easy, but I think they would get the result they want and qualify. So moving on to Man City
Real
Madrid game.
Madrid,
What do you think about the early goal? Do you think it helped Madrid win? It helped
City.
City's game plan, or do you think either way, it could have
Nah, I
still
think it
happened?
was a game that was always in the balance, like we spoke about in the previous episode, right? Um, City can be beat, right? And I think Madrid also have the same problem considering the injury issues they have, and then their goalkeeper deciding to goof on the biggest stage, right? But I feel like it's another game where there is always going to be many goals. Either team could have won it on the night and they would have deserved it. So all to play for in the next
In
leg.
the next leg,
Yeah.
and Charmaine is going to be out of next leg,
Yes.
so
Yes. But they'll
it
probably try
gives
to rush
Militao now a
Militao
chance.
back. Yeah.
But for me, I felt majority of the chances City had that seemed like a big chance or like that seemed like they might have scored. I felt it was down to Cruz. It seemed leggy all through the game. Even the games they played last season, both games,
Yes.
he seemed leggy. Was slow to react. Like the third goal City scored,
Yeah.
like he reacted very slow to,
Very late.
and
Yeah.
like it was like that all through the game. But
I
now
mean,
with
I feel like
Tchouaméni out,
yeah.
I feel like I know he's Madrid, but I feel like City generally have like upper hand because
Well,
now his options in the middle are kind of
yeah,
limited.
yeah, yeah. But as regards the Cruz thing, yes, obviously Cruz is going to be leggy. He's run all his life, and he has gotten to that stage where he doesn't really have it anymore. But then what you get in possession is just to do it to trade off. I guess same thing happened with Modric until
But,
like very recently when
but
he
like
started wrestling a
you are
bit.
never
And then
going to control the possession against
considering
City.
the injury, I mean, but you still need people who are
You need to
technical
retain the
enough
ball.
to retain when they
You need
actually
people
get the
that
possession.
understand
Exactly,
when to retain,
retain the
and
possession and
I
when to press. Yeah,
understand that.
exactly. Yeah,
But against City, you are never. So like it's
except you Arteta though.
Cruz does not like he's like exposing him, like, because you are going to have to do a lot of running than you would need somebody to, like, retain. So
Yeah,
I don't know, Sha. It's that's why he's Ancelotti is getting big bucks. He's the manager, so
right.
it is what it is. So what do you think the second leg? The Who are you
That is
edging?
at the Etihad, right?
Yeah, Etihad.
I feel like City are defending champions. They've not looked the strongest in the league, but cup competitions is something Guardiola is also good at. So I think because of home advantage, primarily, I can't separate both sides. I'm going to go for City.
For me, I think because of Tchouameni's absence,
Yeah,
and because he has played Bellingham a lot as false nine, I don't think they would get a good result. Because I felt Bellingham could have done a lot better in that game. But that's the tactics they've run
the
all
whole
through the
season.
season.
Yeah,
So that's where for Bellingham he has to, like, improve and grow. He needs to understand how to, like, take charge of the game, what the game needs and how he can, you know,
effect it.
effect. Because if they get Mbappe during the summer, he's going to have to drop to his normal
But I mean,
position
he's not
back.
even playing
Then
there at all currently. So
so
like,
he could, for me anyway, could have done better in the game.
yeah,
But about the return leg, Chouameni's absence is going to be felt a lot, because I felt like they would have needed him, like, in that game.
yeah,
In the even in the first leg, I felt they needed him more
in
in the
midfield,
midfield
and
than they did at the
I
back.
think that's why you would understand where Ancelotti is coming from. If he doesn't play Cruz, who does he play?
No,
Modric.
I under yeah.
So it's like
He could have played Nacho or whoever at the back, but
then
that's why
yeah,
he's the coach
yeah,
anyway. Because
exactly.
it was a gamble for me that didn't pay off
Right.
for me. So because of that, I'm just I, I'm, I'm I don't know if Walker is going to be fit again, because they really. I mean, Vardiol and Akonji really
Yeah.
tried to match the pace, but they
Yeah.
still missed Kai Walker
Rodrigo.
on that right flank.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you? A lot of counter attacks in that game,
I think
especially with Bernardo. He kept on returning the ball to the back. I felt pity for Alan genuinely, because feed this guy
uh,
at least.
there's a narrative that Pep Guardiola now benches Kevin De Bruyne in games where he also wants more control of the game. But do you feel like De Bruyne in that game would have given them? Would they have scored more goals if that was De Bruyne instead of
For me, I felt,
Foden, because he wouldn't bench Bernardo.
because if Bernardo had been on
Yeah.
when City went ahead that early,
Yeah.
I think City would have won, because Madrid were a little more exposed on
Yeah.
the counter.
If De Bruyne, you mean
But his game plan was hold the ball, so they didn't even
try?
try to counter. They
Yeah.
just hold the shape and regroup and just keep the ball. They didn't try to counter until they were two goals. Until Madrid came back and, like,
Yeah.
they were
Two
behind. They
one.
didn't
Okay.
try. So, like, and Alan made some very nice runs in that game. That just feed this guy, let him. So it's stuff like that that makes me pity Alan. That why I don't really give him the stick,
They
like,
should have come to rock with the
as
man them in
as
Manchester.
regards him not having enough touches, him not
Yeah.
doing. Yes, I think he still needs to. He has age on his side, so he can still refine his game to be able to drop deep and do all of that. But in a team like City, and the way he's being used in that system, I think it is going to make it more difficult for him to be able to
Yeah.
do that.
I feel like it is increasingly obvious that Haaland is Ole's secret project. He was made for that system,
Here we go
and now
again.
he's suffering at City. Unfortunate for both of them.